Beat his ass for
can't
y'all.
Wait,
For real. I better be quiet.
I don't give a f*** y'all was quiet if y'all was loud.
They got the whole hood over there.
Like, twisted up. I don't give a f*** about none of that.
Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach scheduled to have a rematch sometime this summer, maybe early fall. All indications based on the announcements that we have is that the fight is more than likely going to happen in August, right?
And Gervonta, you think?
I like Lamont in the rematch.
You were one of the few that kind of picked Lamont.
The rematch is confirmed, and both Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach had a heated interview where emotions ran high. They exchanged strong words, and clear tension was evident. Davis spoke with confidence, while Roach made it clear that he is ready to fight back. The Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach rematch is confirmed, and fans are eagerly anticipating a much different outcome than their first fight. Speculation has been swirling about when the fight will take place, with many hoping for an August showdown. Although some fear it might be pushed back to October, which would be disappointing, a confirmation and announcement would put an end to the ongoing guessing game. If you like this, please subscribe Punch Vista and click the bell icon for more latest and interesting videos.
Match in July, you would think, makes the most sense that Tank and Roach are fighting in August. Unless they talking about pushing the shit all the way back to October, which would be a fucking tragedy. So, we hoping for August, because that's the one that's probably gonna make the most sense. Hopefully we'll get an announcement soon on that so we can stop speculating. Now, with that being said, the Tank Davis Lamont Roach rematch, it will be nothing like the first fight. And I'm tired of people telling me that, oh, Tank can't do nothing different. Lamont Roach just got his number. He fought the same that he always fight. Really. History shows us that that's never the case. As a matter of fact, we got Anthony Yarde and Lyndon Arthur just fought. I'll go to recent history.
Unlike their first encounter, this rematch will be nothing like before. The idea that Tank Davis can't make adjustments or that Lamont Roach has his number is simply wrong. History shows that fighters adapt, and Tank, being the talented pound-for-pound fighter that he is, will come prepared with new strategies. Roach is a skilled fighter in his own right, and this fight will bring out the best in both men. People who think Roach will repeat his performance from the first fight are mistaken. The fight game is dynamic, and anything can change in a split second. With two-level fighters like Tank and Roach, the rematch is set to unfold in an entirely different way, and the fans are in for an exciting battle. Lamont Peterson shared his thoughts on Gervonta Davis's power, stating that while Tank hit hard, he wasn't the hardest puncher he's faced in his career. Lamont explained that Tank's punches have significant power, but they don't compare to the force he felt from Jonathan Owendo, a fighter Lamont has faced in the past. According to Lamont Owendo, the punches were the hardest he's ever experienced. He described the difference in their power, emphasizing that while Tank shots are impactful, Owendo's punches had a unique level of intensity that made them stand out. Lamont's insights offer a glimpse into the range of power he's encountered throughout his boxing career, showcasing the differences in punching strength among some of the sport's top fighters. Despite Tank's reputation for his knockout power, Lamont's experience reveals that other fighters have tested his durability in more extreme.
He fight how he always fight. He looked how he always looked in every single fight. Sadly mistaken. This idea that, oh, Lamont Roach he just got Tank number. He gonna fight like that again in the second fight. He could do this, he could do that, bro. Y'all are sadly mistaken if you think the second fight is gonna play out anything like the first fight, bro. Anything is not gonna go that way. Specifically when you fighting at the high level, bro. The highs are high levels. When you got a pound-for-pound talent in there like Tank Davis, a really great talented fighter that's skilled, that got everything that you could have, and you got somebody like Lamont Roach who's a very good fighter himself. Shit ain't gonna go down like that because the fight game, bro.
Ways Shakur Stevenson recently called out Lamont Peterson for a rematch, expressing strong confidence in his ability to win. Shakur explained that he had sparred with Lamont before, which gave him a clear understanding of his opponent's style. He believes this prior experience offers him a significant edge in upcoming rematch. Shakur feels confident that with the knowledge he's gained from those sparring sessions, he could outbox Lamont and secure a victory. While Lamont is an experienced and skilled fighter, Shakur's belief in his own abilities is rooted in the fact that he understands Lamont's strengths and weaknesses. He feels that despite Lamont's extensive experience, he can exploit those weaknesses and prove he has the tools. To defeat him in a second encounter, Shakur is eager to showcase his growth and skills, showing that he's ready to take on Lamont and come out on top this time.
What does the rematch look like between Lamont and Gervonta, you think?
I like Lamont in the rematch.
You were one of the few that kind of picked Lamont to begin with. Why was that?
I sparred with Lamont. I knew that he was a good fighter. He helped me get ready for the Oscar Valdez fight. And I knew his style with Tank's style, what he was going to be able to bring to the table. I knew it. So,
did you really win 20 rounds?
I swear to God, on my daughter's life, I won that much money.
How different does a rematch look in your opinion, Shakur? What adjustments do you think we see from both?
Huh?
What adjustments do we see from both in a rematch?
I think I can't tell you game plans. I could be fighting these guys, so I'm gonna keep my secrets to myself. But truthfully, they both good fighters.
Do you think it's a lot different rematch, or do you think it'll be close again?
It's gonna be a hell of a fight.
How did you see Tank in that fight? A lot of people are saying maybe he's just mentally not there. What did you see?
Nah, he was the same Tank. I don't believe that. I don't got no thought in my brain that makes me think that he wasn't the person he been in all of these other fights. I think he was the same person. All this stuff that he going through stuff. I mean, everybody go through stuff. So he's the same fighter. He's going to be the same fighter throughout his career. So
his remarks show his determination and readiness to take on the challenge, hoping to silence any doubts about his ability to compete at the highest level. The call for a rematch has sparked interest among fans who are eager to see if Shakur can live up to his own predictions. While some believe Lamont Roach gained significant favor after securing a draw with Gervonta, as no one has done that before, it's important to consider how much this changed his status in the boxing world. Before his fight with Tank, Lamont wasn't as widely known, but the draw thrust him into the spotlight and garnered attention from both fans and analysts. This unexpected outcome has led to increased recognition and respect for Roach's skills, showing that he can hang with top-tier fighters. For Tank, this means the stakes are higher in the rematch. He knows Lamont is a legitimate threat and will come in fully prepared. The draw showed that Roach has the ability to challenge Tank. And this time, Tank will not underestimate him. The fight won't be a repeat of the first encounter, and Tank is set on proving he's learned from past mistakes and is fully ready to reclaim his dominance in the ring. Lamont Roach has confirmed that his rematch with Tank Davis is officially happening, and this time Roach is more determined than ever. Reflecting on their first fight, he strongly believes that he was robbed of a fair decision and feels he has something to prove in the rematch. Roach is determined to make a statement showing that he has learned from his past mistakes and is ready to come out on top this time around.
I don't know, might be there a little longer.
Well, what we did see, is it going to be a rematch, or y'all still working on it, or what's the plan?
It's going to be a rematch.
But it's
9 times out of 10.
Sealed to delivery.
Yeah, it's on the way.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm signed the seal.
Okay.
So we waiting on the other half, that's all.
Okay, cool.
I like when people say that my part is done.
Yeah, I did. I did what I had to do.
Yeah.
His training camp is intensely focused on correcting the errors he made in their previous encounter, refining his technique and strategy for a more effective performance. Roach has moved up in weight for the rematch, but remains confident in his ability to handle Davis's notorious power. He studied Davis's weaknesses extensively and plans to exploit them during the fight. Roach isn't intimidated by Davis's reputation or knockout power, instead viewing it as an opportunity to showcase his own growth as a fighter. With renewed confidence and a focused mindset, Roach believes that this time he has what it takes to pull off an upset and secure the victory. The rematch has generated significant excitement, and many fans are eager to see if Roach can truly turn the tables and get the win. He believes he was denied in their first fight, Lamont Roach, revealed a critical flaw in Gervonta Davis's approach to his career. For a long time, Tank had been criticized for selecting opponents that played to his strengths, often avoiding more challenging fighters. This strategy seemed to keep him undefeated and in control. However, Roach disrupted this pattern, coming into the ring as a well-prepared, disciplined fighter. He didn't back down from Tank's usual tactics, showing that he wasn't intimidated by Davis's reputation. Roach's approach was calculated and strategic, forcing Tank to step outside of his comfort zone. This fight exposed Tank's vulnerability and proved that he couldn't rely solely on hand-picking easier opponents. Roach demonstrated that with the right preparation and mindset, even a highly skilled fighter like Tank could be pushed to his limits. This bout showed that Tank's usual strategy might not be enough when facing a tough, well-rounded competitor.
That fight with Tank and Lamont Roach shows y'all how protected Tank has been for the past several years. And the people saying, oh, Tank know Lamont and he been respected Lamont because they fought in the amateurs. Man, he was cherry picking Lamont, and really thought he was gonna get that win. But Lamont wasn't coming to play around. He stood his ground and fought back. And to be honest, he won the fight. The rematch is gonna be a knockout.
Jaron Ennis recently weighed in on the public reaction to Gervonta Davis's performance, highlighting how public perception plays a significant role in shaping opinions about the fight, and noted that while fans are quick to criticize Tank, they often overlook his solid performance in the early rounds of the fight. According to Andis Tank, his boxing in the first few rounds was impressive, as he was able to frustrate his opponent with his skills and movement. However, as the fight progressed, Tank faced challenges that some fans fixated on, leading to negative reactions about his performance, and suggested that much of the criticism Tank receives may stem from personal bias rather than an objective assessment of the fight. He believes some fans are overly focused on Tank not achieving a knockout against a fighter like Lamont Peterson, who, while skilled, may not have the same name recognition as some of the top stars in boxing. Andis pointed out that some fans might be overblowing the criticism due to their expectations for Tank to dominate more decisively. Despite the mixed opinions on the fight's outcome, Andis acknowledged that both fighters performed well. He scored the fight 75-75, or possibly a draw, highlighting that while Lamont did a great job, he didn't do enough to win outright. Andis's comments underscore the complexity of analyzing boxing performances, as public perception can sometimes cloud an accurate evaluation of a fighter's skills and tactics. The conversation surrounding Tank's performance serves as a reminder that personal biases can often overshadow objective analysis in sports.
I gotta ask you about fights. Gervonta Davis, draw with Lamont Roach. People looking at it as controversial because of the whole knee. What'd you think of the fight?
It was a great fight. I had it 7-5 Tank, or you can make it the draw. But I feel like Lamont, he did good. He did a great job, actually. I just don't think he did enough to pull it off. And I feel like people was overlooking what Tank was doing in the first 5-6 rounds. He was boxing and frustrating him a little bit. But Lamont, like I said before, he did a great job.
Yeah, some people had it Tank, some people had it draw, some people had it Lamont. Do you think Tank gets a lot of criticism for not knocking Lamont out and Lamont not being a big name, so they overblow it?
I think so, yeah, and I feel like people just don't like Tank to a point where any little thing, just because he ain't knock him out, he probably feel as though that he lost and he didn't, or it was a draw. I feel like Tank was doing a lot of smart things in the beginning, moving a little bit too much, but I feel like he was still frustrating him and things like that. And I think Tank did a good job. He looked sharp to me. I don't know. People just be talking. At the end of the day, you can't please everybody.
Roy Jones Jr., a boxing legend, shared his thoughts on the fight between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach, emphasizing, Roach's skill and experience. He stressed that Roach is not a fighter to take lightly. Having known him 4 years, Jones understands the level of dedication Roach brings to the sport. He believes that Roach has always had the ability to compete at the highest levels, and his performance against Tank only reinforced that belief. Jones made it clear that while Tank Davis is expected to win the fight, this is far from a routine matchup. He pointed out that Roach is no ordinary opponent. Roach has been around Tank for much of his career, and their shared background makes him a unique challenge. Jones warned against underestimating Roach, noting that he understands Tank's strengths and weaknesses like few others according to Jones. Roach's familiarity with Tank's style could be a significant factor in the fight. While he didn't predict an outcome, Jones emphasized that Roach should not be dismissed as an easy opponent. He has proven himself to be a worthy competitor in the ring and can pose a real threat. Jones was careful not to look too far ahead, stating that the focus should remain on the upcoming fight with Roach before discussing future matchups for Tank. For Jones, the fight with Roach is a key hurdle that Tank must clear before moving forward.
Yeah, you got a question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, come on.
I mean, first thing we got to ask you what you think about this fight, man.
I think it's a great fight. Two great guys. I think Roach is a great formidable opponent. Tomorrow, Tank gonna test his tank and see how good he is in the late round.
Presumably, Tank is supposed to, win this fight. This is a fight that there's not a lot of doubt about him coming out victorious in. So the talk shifts, and we got to know, Roy, from your perspective, Tank Shakur, when you think about that fight being a potential fight this year, how do you see it going?
I ain't gonna really think about that yet because I'm waiting after he finishes his fight with Roach. Roach is not just your average everyday opponent. Roach is a person who knows Tank, who's been around Tank his whole life. This is a different fight. You can't put Roach to the side like that. I'm sorry. Now, I'm not saying that he's gonna win the fight. I don't know that, but Roach cannot be this underrated like that. You understand? You got to understand that Roach came from basically the same ecosystem as Tank came from. Roach is a very formidable opponent. So I'm not going to talk about none of that till we get by Roach, because what I'm telling you about the other stuff don't really mean nothing right now.
Okay, let me ask you this, because this did happen.
I'm feeling good always. How you doing?
I'm always good. You're a special fighter. Tank's a special fighter. What do you like about him? What makes him different?
I like that when Tank come to fight, Tank come to knock you out. Tank don't come to just beat you by decision. He come to take you out. He come to try to get the job done best way he can. And he loves to come there and entertain the fans. He's not there to play around. He's trying to smoke you. And that's what life's supposed to be about.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next.